Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Just had a really amazing time at a bar last night here in Gold Hill. I was feeling down. So and I feel comfortable at bars. Oh no, could that be my happy place? So I went into the bar and sat down at the bar. There's a few people there, but nobody sitting next to me. I ordered a salad. After a little while, an attractive woman came in, and you see her out of the corner of my eye as she came in. She looked down the bar and she looked at me and paused for a second and sat next to me. And the chair was kind of close to me. And here it is, and I'm like, wow, that's unique, that's interesting. Most women would sit, like, if they're alone, would sit like by themselves or with another girl or something. So it seemed like she selected that chair next to me. So I looked over and said hello, and she was very friendly. Quite attractive. And I immediately became self-conscious. It's what I do. Been like that my whole life. As soon as I believe that a girl might be interested in me, I change. I'm not the same person. And so I know that about myself. And I want to try to fix that and break that cycle about myself, or break that way, or fix it. So I was talking to myself, don't do that right now. You don't know if she's here because she likes you and wants to have a date with you, or you don't know that. And so stop thinking that way. So I got to, and I think that's very valuable. It's valuable to have that conversation with myself in my head, because whatever dominates in that moment, for instance, this kind of a thing, with this attractive woman and me thinking, oh, she's interested in me, and now all of a sudden I change. I'm not the person I'm not presenting the guy that I really am. I'm not like comfortable and at ease in my communication. Whatever dominates and makes it that way, I want that part of me to stop. So I look at everybody as, in without this subjectiveness, so to speak. So I got to fight that the whole time I was talking to her, and she was really friendly, and she had the best sense of humor. Oh my gosh, she had me laughing. And she had looked at her phone a couple of times, and she kind of mentioned under her breath, either that or my hearing isn't as good as it used to be. And I think it's the second one. My hearing is not as good as it used to be. So if I think she's mentioned it under her breath, she probably said it out loud. I just couldn't hear it. Her boyfriend's mad at her. And it was funny because as soon as she said that, I'm like, oh, she's got a boyfriend. Then I became a little more comfortable and at ease. And it's like, there it is again, right? There it is. If I think she's interested, maybe it's like performance anxiety. If I think a girl is interested in me, then I get like, and I get all anxious. And it's like, and the thing is that I'm not who I really am. I'm a different person. It's like, I don't want to be a different person. I want to be who I am in all situations with everybody. And so I relaxed a little bit. And she had a 6-year-old daughter she's talked about, and how her 6-year-old daughter had a presentation in kindergarten, I think, or the first grade the other day, that she knocked it out of the park. And eventually she left and I left the bar. But before she left, I told her, I said, I was a little bit down when I came in here. and just your sense of humor. Just you're a good friend, and I really appreciate you, and I thank you very much for making me laugh. And just I had a really good time. I told her, I said, you're an amazing person. You're an amazing human being, and thank you. And I said this without any thoughts of, oh, maybe she's a potential date, just a friend. I think I got there. It was beautiful. And she said, oh, I fooled you, and so her response, what she said after that was more like, I'm not a good person. And she was almost like almost delicately disputing that I have said she was an amazing human being. She was disputing that delicately. And I thought, wow, that's right, huh? She might not think very highly of herself. It's like, wow, she's got the same problem I have. So, what a beautiful lesson for me, and I hope it was a beautiful lesson for her too. That, a couple of lessons here. A goal is to be who we are all the time. No matter how we feel inside, physically, sometimes we feel better than other times because of how our body feels. We might not feel the aches and pains. We might feel really good and we feel like we have a lot of energy. We might behave, like really more friendly with people when we have a lot of energy. And if we don't have a lot of energy, we might not be as friendly with people. So no matter how our body feels, a goal is to be good to people and be joyful all the time, no matter how your body feels. That's a good goal. And also, the part of us that suppresses our greatness, suppresses the godly light inside of us, the part of us that suppresses that, unthrone that person. Take them off of the seat of control in ourselves, so they do not control that anymore. And that's not just one day saying, I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to allow it anymore. It's actually, for me, it's this battle. It's being in these situations and recognizing that part of me that is in charge, saying, now we're going to behave differently because I have to show this person that I'm something special, so she will like me, because she is a potential mate. That part of me I had to battle against for quite some time, back and forth in my mind while I'm communicating with this person. So that's a good goal too, to battle that part of us that does that. Battle that part of us that says you're not good enough, that you need to be something different right now. The you that you are normally is not good enough for this situation, so you have to be something different right now. So put on a show. That part of us, that part of me needs to be taken out of control. And so that's a good goal. And I'm going to keep working on that. But I think it's amazing that our good God, our loving God, gives us situations, gave me that situation last night to practice it. I believe that both of us, her name was Mary, and I believe that both of us walked away from that encounter last night, maybe a 1-hour encounter, different people. I know for me, I was successful at seeing a beautiful woman as a friend and not as a potential date or mate. That might just be the guy in me, right? You know how guys are. And I know that's not an excuse, but that's a pretty common thing with guys, is we tend to look at women as opportunities for intimacy, over and above an opportunity to just engage as a friend. So I think I was successful in that last night. And I think it was an absolute anointed moment with us, because when we left, we were just good friends. And So again, I'm just really grateful to God for having these situations come up to practice our skills, practice my skills, right? That's what, and then so we get to everything that we encounter in our lives, every person that enters our day, every situation that we engage in throughout our day, driving, at home, at work, wherever we happen to be. These are wonderful opportunities to practice and work through the growth that we want to work through. So thank God for that. And to really, really work towards us believing in the true selves, in the true us. I mean, we really are kings and queens. When we doubt ourselves, when we think lower of ourselves, that's not our God telling us that. And that's not the light telling us that. That's that opponent, so to speak, right? Opponent inside of us that opposes our greatness and tells us that we are not great, that we can't do this, that we are not good enough the way we are right now. And so may we all increase our strength to battle that opponent. May we all continue to get situations presented to us on a daily basis where we get to practice this battle. That when first we notice the opponent inside of us saying, you're not good enough. First we notice the opponent while we're engaging in this specific situation. And then we say, we're not going to do it that way this time. And then we go back and forth in our minds while we're engaging in that situation, wearing down the opponent, breaking the opponent down, saying, you're not going to do it this time. And then we get to see where that engagement goes, right? And we can be successful in overcoming the opponent in these situations. And I'm expecting that the next one I get to do, it will become more of who I am. I believe it'll become easier and eventually get to a place to where I really, really do feel comfortable in this world. I really, really do feel comfortable with others and who a person is, where they come from, how attractive they are, how much wealth they have. All of that does not influence who I am. Who I am is that loving, perfect being that our God created, loving and joyful, perfect being in all situations, no matter how I feel. Love and light. Shabbat Shalom.